The rain that day fell like sharp needles, slicing through the cold gray air. Inside the small Ashwood police station, Officer Daniels, a 42-year-old veteran with more years in uniform than he cared to count, was pouring himself a cup of coffee when the front doors burst open. A tiny figure stumbled inside. She couldn't have been more than 7 or 8. Barefoot, soaked through, her long brown hair plastered to her face. Her oversized clothes hung off her thin frame as if they belonged to someone else. "Please, please follow me," she sobbed, her voice breaking. "My mommy, she won't wake up, and my baby brother. He's so cold. Please, come now." Her name was Sophie. Her small feet were scratched and bleeding from running barefoot over wet asphalt. Daniels dropped to one knee, gently gripping her trembling arms. "Where do you live, sweetheart?" "Down Maple Street." "The little brown house at the end," she hiccuped through her tears. He didn't wait another second. Radioing dispatch, he grabbed his jacket. Officer Maria Alvarez, younger but equally alert, joined him. Per Sophie's plea, they kept the sirens off. "Don't scare my brother," she had whispered. When they reached the address, Daniel's chest tightened. The house looked abandoned. The door barely hanging from its hinges, windows cracked, weeds climbing over the porch. Inside, the smell struck them immediately. Dampness, mildew, and something rotten. Sophie led them down a dark hallway into a back room where a flickering lamp revealed a pale young woman sprawled on a couch, her arm hanging lifelessly toward the floor. Beside her lay a baby, barely a year old, wrapped in nothing more than a thin towel, shivering violently. Alvarez checked the mother's pulse. "She's alive, but barely. The baby's freezing. We need medics now." Daniel scooped the baby into his arms as paramedics were called. Sophie stood off to the side, clutching a teddy bear with one missing eye. Her expression wasn't fear or surprise, just exhaustion, the kind only a child forced to grow up too soon could wear. Outside, as medics worked, Daniel sat beside her on the porch. "Where's your dad?" he asked softly. "He left, a long time ago." "Why didn't you tell anyone?" Sophie's glassy eyes lifted to meet his. "Because no one listens, not to little girls." In that moment, Daniels realized the depth of her burden. She had been feeding her baby brother, checking her mother's pulse every morning, sneaking to a gas station to steal expired sandwiches, playing the role of both caretaker and prisoner. Before the ambulance pulled away, Sophie tugged on his sleeve. "You came," she whispered. "I told myself someone would, someday." He knew then this wasn't just another call. This was the call, one that would stay with him for the rest of his life. When the truth about Sophie's life emerged, Ashwood, a town known for its quiet streets, was shaken. News headlines read, "Little girl saves family and child hero exposes hidden poverty." The deeper investigation painted a grim picture. Sophie's mother, Julia, had been battling severe postpartum depression and addiction after being abandoned. Government aid had ended months earlier, and no one had followed up. They had simply disappeared into the cracks of the system. Photos from the home showed empty cabinets, mold-specked baby bottles, and childish drawings taped to the walls with messages like, "Mommy, please smile today." The town rallied. Food drives, donations, and volunteers poured in. Within weeks, the brown house at the end of Maple Street was repaired, painted, and stocked with food. Julia entered a full recovery program. Sophie and her baby brother were never hungry again, and Daniels, the gruff, solitary cop, found himself visiting daily. At first, it was just to check in. Then came shared meals. Then bedtime stories. 6 months later, Sophie stood on the courthouse steps holding his hand, officially adopted. The man who had once saved her life was now her Father Dot, as the cameras flashed, Sophie whispered, "Told you someone would come." Daniel's eyes filled with tears. "No, Sophie, you came for us. You made all of us better." The people of Ashwood still tell her story, not as a tale of tragedy, but as one of courage far beyond her years. The little girl who ran barefoot through the rain didn't just save her family. She healed a community and a lonely man's heart.